You know,
Like I remember one time
and you had
what
diarrhea.
was that place by Lansdowne and Bloor? Where I first met you when Freddie did his show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and there was like the women's washroom. I don't know if these girls were doing their fighting or something. So I'm like, let me go in the men's washroom. And I didn't think anybody was in there. And I go inside and hear hello. And I was like, what the? And there's like a guy taking a shit in the stall. And he's full on having a conversation with me. And I'm like, I just wanted to fix myself for my performance or whatever. And I'm like, this is awkward. He's like, how are you doing? You performing today? And we're like, full on having a conversation. I'm like, am I bothering you? He's like, not at all. Like,
I have my best conversations when I'm on the shit.
I love women to come into the
Just most people think it's weird.
Shit,
yeah, men love that.
Yo,
I
love talking on the shitter.
Yo, do y'all have like the those
Nothing
attendants
better.
that hand you the paper towels in the female washroom? Because like, do you feel obligated to tip them?
No, I always tell them.
Paper towel. Like,
I
if
always
I'm
tell
taking
them.
your perfume or your candy, sure, but paper towel, you're not gonna take all the paper towel out of this dispenser and then tell me that I have to pay you afterwards.
No,
like,
as soon as I spot them when I'm coming in, I just try to befriend them. I'm like, oh, hey, man, what's your name? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't have money to give you tonight, but you don't have to wash my hands for me, and you don't have to hand me nothing. I'm like, but you're my man, all right?
I'll come out with, like, toilet paper
And then
from the
we're good.
bathroom. Like, I'm good. I got toilet
Then
paper.
go blow a line in the back. Go
Cuba,
blow a line in the stall.
In Cuba, you gotta pay for toilet paper
That's
in some
crazy.
public washrooms.
That
Like,
is crazy.
there's an attendant waiting for you, and she'll give you
I want to
give
go
you
to
a bunch,
Cuba,
you know?
but I don't know about all of that.
Oh
Cuba's
man, it
lit.
was fun.
Cuba is
It was
dope.
lit,
But I
bro.
pay
I
for my
love.
toilet paper.
I fucking
Like
love
that.
Cuba, man.
I might as well just bring it with me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can do that
absolutely.
too.
You can do that.
I'll bring it.
Bring a backpack with you. Absolutely. Bring
I'm
some
gonna
with
bring
you.
it from Canada.
Listen,
Yeah.
bring ketchup with you. Bring some salt and pepper with you. Bring all the condiments with you.
I
Cause
don't even eat all
they got
that.
catsup. They don't have ketchup down there.
Catsup?
Yeah, they
What's
don't.
that?
It's like generic ketchup or something. I don't
What's
know.
wrong with that?
But they had Frank's Red Hot.
Listen, the way our condiments taste.
No, they didn't.
It's not how their condiments taste.
Okay.
Their
No,
condiments
it's not.
don't taste like.
See, I'm part Cuban, and apparently we don't have spices. I've never
Yeah.
actually been to Cuba,
Yeah.
but it's because we don't do the import-export.
Exactly.
No, exactly,
The
because of
trading-
the
trading
US.
isn't the same.
However, Cuba has the number 3 healthcare system in the world.
Yep.
You could be poor on the street and your teeth are lit, your
And they'll
body
help
is
you
healthy
out.
and everything.
Yeah.
Like
Well-
they got dental care, healthcare, everything is free out there. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor or a homeless
Yep.
person. on
This
the
is
street.
why the CIA wanted to kill Fidel Castro.
Of course, everything about Fidel, like the like growing up for me is like, especially being in school and hearing people like like talk down on Fidel and being
Yeah.
Cuban, and I'm like we don't look at him
Yeah.
like that. Like
Yeah.
he protected us from whatever it was that the Americans were trying to bring into us and,
Yeah.
and corrupt the system. Same thing like with what is it Gaddafi.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like it's America will paint this picture that these dictators, so to speak, are monsters, but really it's like we're trying to preserve the culture within our
Exactly.
country or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with culture. Like we live in this day and age now where people are like, oh, I don't see color. Like when you look at me and you tell me you don't see a black girl, if you're gonna tell me that, you're a liar.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like when you go shopping, you buy a red shirt or a pink shirt or whatever the case is. You're not just like, hey, I'm just picking up random. I'm gonna wear blue,
Yeah,
green,
yeah.
and orange together.
You're trying to you
Right.
that shit.
Exactly. When you buy a
You have
pit bull,
taste.
it's like I want a blue nose dog or you know what I mean? I want a black dog or this or that. So why when it come to people, we don't see color, we don't see culture, and we're trying to like blend everything in together. And it's like once we learn how to embrace these different cultures, like Cuba might not have the best food, but it has
Right.
some beautiful women and some great
Absolutely.
ass island. There's different
Some of the
aspects.
nicest beaches in the
I
world.
heard
Straight
the best
up.
food is off the
A
resort.
rich history.
Of course.
Do you know what's a great
So-
thing about Cuba? It's a place you can go and you don't see skyscrapers as soon as you land.
Yeah.
You go to
Exactly.
fucking Egypt and there's skyscrapers, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Egypt
like
is not the
traveling
same.
the world
Oh my
and learn about
God.
history, and everywhere you go,
Yeah.
there's fucking banks and
Yeah.
Yeah.
all this shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Egypt
nah,
went
like
to the
you go to
shits
Cuba,
right now.
like.
Yeah.
Now you go to
it's old
You go to
crumbling
Cuba
cities
and
that
yeah.
are made to live.
Exactly.
You got
be
crumbling
lived in
cities,
right now.
but it's also
fucking
very Spanish and very African.
Exactly.
But it's just
Exactly.
very
Mhm.
human.
Well, a lot of people don't even
It's
know.
human.
Like 80% of the Cuban population is Afro-Cuban.
Yes,
So
you
Yes.
recognize
they don't
that.
show that
Yeah,
on
they
the
never show that
commercials
stuff.
No.
and all that stuff. Like you think
But the
everybody looks like
people-
J-Lo, but when you go there,
yeah.
like, oh shoot. Same thing with Brazil,
Yeah.
Puerto Rico, all those
Yeah.
places. It's like it's a very strong Afro-Latino community or whatever.
Brazil's massive. Like
Brazil.
people don't
Yeah.
really recognize or don't really state that like Brazil took more slaves than any country in the world. You know what I mean? And most, you know,
Yeah.
yeah. Brazil, like you said, a good 80 to 90%
Yeah.
of that population is African in Brazil.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
It's
they
like
don't
that's we
show you
just
that.
we gotta learn how to embrace. I mean, it's a sad history, yes, but now we gotta learn how to pick the good parts of each different culture. Every culture,
Yeah.
whatever it created, you know what I mean. I'm here because of whatever the result is.
No
Would I
doubt.
like things to be different? Of course, but I'm here now, so it's like Do I denounce my Latino roots because I was a descendant of this, that, and the other? Do I denounce my Caribbean roots because I didn't straight come from Africa? You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, or we just learn how to embrace all these different aspects of it. Because in this day and age, we've created a whole new culture. It's not even what it was 300 or 400 years ago.
It's about what it is now.
Exactly.
And that's why I always like try to be really careful when I use the word America. Because we live in America. We don't live in the United States of America. America goes from the top of Canada to the bottom of South America.
Exactly.
And the actual word America means new world.
Right.
And if you think about all the hands that were, here to help create this new world after the old inhabitants were eventually wiped out, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
it's every race of people that exists today.
Prior to
Some factor form,
1857, we lived in Hudson Bay Co.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
It's
what
still
this
the Americas.
the Americas, when they named it on a map, it was called Americas, the new world. That's what America means in
Central,
Spanish.
North,
If you look
South,
at old
all of it.
European maps,
Yeah, of course.
we were Hudson Bay Co.
But what they called
That's
this
what we're
hemisphere, what they
marked
called
as.
this hemisphere was America, not necessarily what they called particular Canada.
country.
Did they really go by hemisphere so much back
absolutely.
then?
They didn't really know it was here, right? So when they discovered it, they called it America, the new
That's why
world.
they call it the West.
The Western Hemisphere.
Know what Midwest is?
And we're really young in comparison to a lot of European
Very much
stuff.
so.
You know, like our history is 400 or 500 years for, say the non-native stuff. And
Right.
there's people who live in, stuff that's been in a mountainside that's been etched out and been a home there for 1,500 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like 400 or 500 generations of families have lived in that house. You
Of
know what I
course.
mean?
That is so
So-
sick.
Yeah.
Like
It's
that's
crazy when you
human.
think about time, right?
That's what being human is.
Exactly.
Like that's what's like.
What about if you're a nomad?
You just drift. You just drift.
Well, the thing is, I mean,
There's
something
different
that a
ways of
lot of
living.
people don't realize, and this is like, if me and my friend on Facebook, we go back and forth at it all the time because he's very into the native studies. And for me, I'm like, a lot of people don't realize the natives weren't like these red-skinned Indians that we're seeing today. They were dark-skinned indigenous people. So the Olmecs were actually the first settlers in North America, and they're black, the Louisiana Moors. So when you say that, and it's like, if you get technical, like, it's like how do I explain it? It's like the world that we live in right now. It's like the stories that we were told growing up are it's all garbage.
It's all bullshit.
It's all bullshit.
It's all bullshit.
Like we gotta just dispel everything that we thought we knew in elementary school and go relearn stuff for ourselves because all the information is there. And that's where it's like sometimes I'll be arguing with people and I'm like, why am I arguing with you? Like I'm not talking with opinion. I'm talking like actual facts here.
Well, that's the
Like,
saddest part is that basic history is all lies.
Mm-hmm.
So once you try to start to talk about actual things and actual history,
Right.
a lot of people who are very simple-minded just shut you off. And it's
Right.
like you're a conspiracy theorist because
Right.
the three most simple things that actually are lies in human history, most people just assume is truth. Like one example, let's use Christopher Columbus. You know what I mean? There's people who shut you off in an argument or a comment, even though it's proven.
Right.
You know what I mean?
they
But
don't
it's
wanna-
like
they don't care about the
you
truth.
just fed false bullshit history.
Yeah.
If you even think about what actually happened and look at the fucking evidence of the planet and how things have evolved and what comes from what and all that, you just looked at it like you're like nuts almost. Like
Right.
by majority of people, it's like you're a conspiracy theorist.
Of
It's like
course.
no, I just literally looked
Yeah.
at history. Like,
It's like I'd rather
there's
keep
no
up with the
conspiracy.
world than the Kardashians.
conspiracy
Like-
is why are we all lied to fit this certain mold of
Exactly.
a world?
Yeah.
And that's why I personally believe society, it always has been and it is to this day, being pushed in a certain direction. Like this shit doesn't just happen by chance, bro.
Nah, I
Right.
feel you. Well, that being said, I want
the
to send a
world
huge
is so-
shout out to Dr. Ivan Van Sertima because based on what you're saying, like he actually has a book. There's a book by a man. He's from Guyana. It's called "They Came Before Columbus," and I had an opportunity to read that when I was really early in my 20s. So I read about the Olmecs. And,
Yeah.
seeing a bunch of other people. Olmecs are the gods that in Mexico,
Yep.
early inhabitants believed, and you can look at the statues and definitely see that
The nose.
they had
Like,
African
that's what they keep shooting off
features
our
and-
noses at all the statues
Yeah.
because your nose gives away everything. Like, okay, that's a brother.
But definitely check out that book or check out Dr. Ivan
What is
Vance.
it called?
It's called They Came Before Columbus.
They Came Before
But
Columbus,
the
yeah.
actual guy who wrote his name's Dr. Ivan Van Sertima.
Okay.
And he talks a lot about that people who came before Columbus.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things like even the name California. Believe it or not, comes from the story of an African woman who was like a queen who had like a bunch of it was like a love story
Yeah.
or something. You know what I mean?
Sure,
Almost like
something like that,
the Queen
yeah.
of the Damned with
Yeah.
Allicia is almost based on her and whatnot. The name California comes from a black princess, who inhabited that part before the Spaniards
Well,
came.
most of the places in America, like Manhattan and all those places,
Oh, they were all
those are
native
all
names.
like native
Yeah,
names,
Missouri,
but like
Tallahassee.
you
those
still
are all
have the
native
black
names.
Indians
Fuck,
that
Canada
still
is Canada.
exactly.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Mississauga.
Yeah.
Exactly.
all all that stuff,
Spadina,
man.
whatever
Yeah.
how you pronounce it.
Kelowna,
Right.
all that shit, man. Manitoba, Winnipeg.
Toronto.
We would, you
Right.
see, like some European wouldn't just come up with any. Hey, let's call this shit Winnipeg. Why? I
Exactly.
don't fucking know. Winnipeg. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like it was already named,
Yeah.
man.
Which is
Absolutely.
like, it's just so fucked up, bro.
At this point,
it
it's
is.
like I mean, when people are like, oh, I didn't learn that in school. Like, to me, that's no excuse. School to me was just daycare. You
I
had to
feel
go
you.
so your parents
Yeah.
could work
Yeah.
and do stuff.
Yeah.
Now, as an adult, you have, like, the same time that you're spending on Facebook and responding to status and stuff. Like, sometimes people ask questions, and I'm just like, yo, like, like you. And I'm just like, just Google this. Like, it's
Yeah.
right
Just
here. Like,
fucking
just
with
Google
people,
it. Like, he
man.
likes
Yeah.
terrorizing people, but there are some people who literally do
Shout
not.
out
Oh,
to
we
like,
Mike.
got a free. We literally
I love
like.
Mike for that.
Hey, y'all remember when we were kids?
Yeah, like-
when we were kids, we had these guys who would come to our door like, "Hey, you want to buy this encyclopedia?"
Encyclopedias, right.
Now we got this shit's called Encyclopedia Google a motherfucking
Straight
comma.
up.
You can find
Yep.
anything you want on that shit if
Exactly.
you know how to look.
Exactly.
All you got to do is find it, because they always have to cite the sources.
Mm-hmm.
You can click on that shit and go down some deep holes and really
Yep.
find some stuff out.
Yep.
It's not always true what they say on Wikipedia. You got to
Yeah, no.
No, Wikipedia is mad
do enough
bullshit.
search, like you can.
It's
I'm not
all
saying
there.
take the first page. Like I usually just go down a couple pages,
Yeah.
go through different things, and then start certain things. Like the world that we live in, everything is common sense.
Yeah.
So it's like you get the information, you don't have to take it verbatim, but once you decipher certain things that make sense to you, like the world is not that complicated.
Yeah.
No.
We make
That's
it
a-
so complex,
no.
but it's really not.
We're sold an image that things are so much
Exactly.
more
Yeah.
complex than they
Exactly.
really are.